there's so many elements of Gen Z that has shifted in culture. And one thing that a lot of people were shocked by is the fact that Gen Z is consuming significantly less alcohol. Gen Z is not really a heavy drinking culture for a number of reasons. I mean, it's because club culture has died. It's because people are going to church more. It's because people just don't see the purpose anymore. People can't afford it, and people want to be healthy. Like, there's so many factors that go into it. On January 1st, 2025, Time actually reported that Gen Z consumes significantly less alcohol than previous generations, with 20% of Gen Z adults age for this purpose from 21 to 26 identifying as non-drinkers, compared to 12% of millennials at the same age. And it also shows that 52% of Gen Z, and Gallup actually said this, that 52% of Gen Z drink occasionally, which is down from the 71% of millennials. And again, this is driven by health consciousness. It's driven by social media's influence on sober lifestyles. Like, sober has become like a trend, which love that. Like, love the healthiness of all of that. And, you know, the economic pressure, honestly, too. I guess there's a little bit of benefit to people being broke because they've realized, like, maybe we can't afford that bottle of Henny this week. But people are also just realizing straight up that it's making their backs big. The era of people glamorizing obesity is even over. Because even, the era of health and wellness is hot again when even somebody like Lizzo is hating how big her back used to be. She just posted this video recently. So Lizzo has lost a bunch of weight. This is the singer and rapper Lizzo writing "by B word" on her old album cover where her back was bigger. And it's just so funny how someone like Lizzo would be so quick to call somebody fat phobic. But if we're going to be so real, I actually didn't see that part of the video in the beginning. And you know what? I'm not even going to come for her because anybody laughing like that, I don't want beef with. And Lizzo already has me blocked on Twitter. Sorry, girl, I was calling your back big one day. But look, it worked because you ran to the kitchen and you ate less. And that's what we wanted to see at the end of the day. You did not need to eat a family size bag of Oreos every single time because that's why you were the size of a small family. But now she has lost that weight. And it's just so funny and ironic to me that nobody hates fat people more than people who used to be fat. And what it has to say is that people are rejecting finally this body positivity movement. The body positivity movement, initially was about self-acceptance. And I think the body positivity can be a great thing when we're talking about like a disability, for example. When I think I had a post that went viral years ago where I was like, if we're going to talk about body positivity, talk about the military veteran that lost their leg. Talk about the firefighter who, face got burned and has severe burn damage on their face because they were saving lives. Or even talk about people who were born in a certain way and they rock with it. They embrace it. There's actually a girl I grew up with in my hometown who, she hates me though because she's super progressive. But hi, Jess, we're talking about you. She's actually an influencer that even though she hates me, I really respect her because she has an entire blog about traveling the world as a disabled woman. And she's a dancer, she's model, she does all this cool stuff. And I think that that's the pinnacle of body positivity. I think what she does is really badass. And again, even though she hates me, she did not see me at the 10-year reunion. But that being said, that's what body positivity should look like, in my opinion. I don't think body positivity is being positive about living an unhealthy lifestyle. I don't think body positivity should be about making the conscious decision to eat like a bear every single day. Like, we don't have to be positive about the fact that you can't push the plate away. And Gen Z is really sick of that. We're sick of the forced inclusivity, not just about being big backed, but about just people being weird looking. Like, the downplaying on fitness and basic beauty standards, it needs to end. Okay? A moment for me that was like the Pearl Harbor for me emotionally, because I literally stopped wearing Calvin Klein after this, was, first of all, let's look at OG Calvin Klein. How beautiful and chic the OG Calvin Klein was. Like, when you would look at Calvin Klein and their brand, like, you would want to be fit, you would want to be ripped, you would want to be the gorgeous models that are out there, you would want to be this, you would want to be built like Cindy Crawford, you wanted that waist to be snatched, you wanted to be able to wear low-rise jeans. Girls these days, their biggest fear are some low-rise jeans. Okay, let's be honest. No shade. And no shade, high-waisted looks great too. But that being said, people wanted to be slim and healthy because of what it represented. It was a lifestyle. Like, this was hot. Make America hot again. This is what we desperately wanted back. But now look what we have today, or pretty recently, I should say, last couple years. What the hell is that? The hell is that? Objectively speaking, what the hell? What the hell Beyonce? What the hell Bron James? What the hell Raya Carey? What is that? What the hell Aretha Franklin? This is Calvin Klein, this pissed me off so bad. This pissed me off so bad. This is not the beauty standard. And honestly, she's not the worst. She's not the worst. The prior one was worse because that one, the second one, it's like, no, it's not. Yeah, that one's worse because the black girl, she ain't the worst actually. Or maybe just my standards are in the abyss because of ones like this. But the hair is not working. The man has tits, and the thing is, it's like, that's such a convincing tranny that, like, I don't know if you were just a literal. I don't know which side you're transitioning from. I guess that's the goal. I guarantee that's a they, them. Because it's like, why does Drake have tits? It looks like Drake and Lizzo at the same time. And then that butch mullet, like, come on now. That's not what I want to wear. That's not what I want to look like. Okay, Gen Z is over it. This was appeasing millennials and millennials only. No shade. No shade. I need to dedicate an entire video to why Gen Z does not want to be like millennials, because that is just crazy. Okay, especially living as someone living in LA, I wish that LA was hot and vintage like it used to be. When I look at the videos of back in the day and just like how cool LA culture used to be and California culture used to be. I think we have some content of that too, right? Just to give it the aesthetic. I miss the California aesthetic. Do we have that, Ms. Rodriguez? Yes, just like, come on now. This is so hot. Like, and these just happen to be all white folk. And I don't mean only white folk before y'all try to come for me. But imagine me living, just thriving in that skinny Caucasian glory. I'm kidding. Only to an extent. But, make LA blonde and hot again. Where is that? That was the LA I wanted to live in. This is such a vibe. This is such a vibe that should be the standard of California, where the weather is perfect, where people were deep in their bag, people were attractive, go and sit on the beach. Like, nobody just goes and hangs on the beach these days. Like, the beaches are even ghetto now. It's because you include too many people. Gen Z is over inclusivity. Stop including homeless people on the beach. Okay? You can take the sidewalk, you can take the alley, you can take the bridge, you can take the tunnel. Why is your encampment on the beach? You don't have to live on the beach. Okay? Inclusivity is over. It's over. Everybody's over it. We want traditional beauty and healthy standards to come back. And with Gen Z, there's the popularity of fitness influencers just shows again just how people are really romanticizing that aesthetic again, being fit, being healthy, feeling good, really just feeling good. People are tired of not feeling well and living these unhealthy lifestyles. So having that self-respect to choose to be healthy and to work hard, it's not about being superficial. It's about actually, taking care of yourself and having that priority of dignity, really. Okay. And while social media and influencer culture often does perpetuate a false reality, at the same time, it at least makes people less lazy. More often than not, I would at least hope. When you see these people thriving, when you see these people just having unattainable standards of, the thing is that's also a thing that's changed too, as I'm sitting here thinking about it. I feel like millennials, when they looked at influencers, they really romanticized things that were unattainable. They really liked to look at people like the Kardashians and Paris Hilton as these people who lived lifestyles that were so far-fetched that all you could do is just sit back and watch out of entertainment and dream that you could be like that. But Gen Z, when we look at influencers, it's very different. And it's part of why TikTok culture has exploded in the way that it has. TikTok culture has exploded because regular people have been able to become stars and it has made their relatability and this pseudo relationship that people have with influencers. It makes people look at it and be like, oh wait, I can have that too. I can do that too. I want to know where you bought that. And that's why marketing has shifted to be so influencer heavy, because it's like, okay, if this influencer bought this and wears this and goes to these places, they're able to live this life. So now I can too. So that's one of the positive elements of Gen Z influencer culture, is because it's about relatability and attainability. People are able to do what you do now. And yes, again, there is a lot of false reality there. This is a hot take for sure, but I do think that there is an element of positivity in the influencer culture and the way that it's made people want and seek and fight hard to have these different things that these different celebrities and online figures have. Okay, it has brought back a certain level of objectivity in the beauty and the health and the wellness spaces, and we are no longer forced to pretend that that's not the case. Because one thing I always say is that when beauty is represented by nothing, then nothing is beautiful. Okay, when you try to be so inclusive to everything and try to make it seem like everything is on par with everything else, it's like there's no standard of excellence then. Okay, what are we supposed to aspire to have and to obtain if everything is trash?